guys, and welcome back to 4F Beauty. As you can see, I've got quite a bold look today, but I achieved it using one eyeshadow. Just one. You don't need loads and loads of palettes, says the girl who's got loads and loads of palettes. Shh. You don't need loads and loads of palettes to do a really striking but quite simple look. So, if you want to find out how I achieved this look, you are in exactly the right place. Get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack while I sing my song, because when I'm done, the tutorial will start. When will I be YouTube famous? I hope you're ready, because here comes the tutorial. Hey, welcome back from the intro. As you can see, foundation is on, and today I'm doing a wear time test on this LA Girl Pro Matte, and I've used my old faithful Revolution Conceal and Define. Right, I'm going to do setting this down now, I think, with a little bit of lace powder. Although this has actually set down and I could probably blend powder over the top of it, because when I do foundation tests I always set the foundation to give it as good a chance as possible of actually being on my nose at the end of the night. And obviously where I've powdered all of the other foundations, it wouldn't be an accurate or fair test if I didn't powder this one as well. So let's get this concealer set before it creases too much. I don't use eyelid primers, as you know. I just carry my foundation, concealer and primer. Well, my primer, my foundation and concealer just across my lid and set it, and I find that that does. It works just fine for me, and I've got quite oily lids, and I don't really see too much fading or creasing unless it's a particularly bad eyeshadow palette, or if I've used a cream eyeshadow, because obviously by virtue of being a cream it moves around. So how's your day been so far? Good, I hope. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to upload this, but it's actually the morning after our clocks went forward an hour for British summertime. Yeah, British summertime doesn't exist in the UK. We get maybe 2 or 3 days of warm, and occasionally a day of ridiculously hot when all flying ants come out, and then that's pretty much it. But I don't mind that too much, because obviously side effect of my meds and my chronic pain means that I get a very sweaty face anyway, so if the weather gets too hot, even this won't hold my makeup on my face. Big fluffy brush to set the rest on my face. I'm going to do a little bit of a different look today. I'm going to show you how you can just use one colour on your lids. And obviously that's a bit quicker. And I tend to do this if I'm using a coloured liner, which I'm going to be doing today, because I picked up to try this LA Girl Fine Line in purple. And obviously I've got my L'Oreal Baby Roll mascara as well. And yes, I'll be doing a purple lip, because got to really, haven't you? So very similar to my matching lips, lashes and liner that I did. I'm not sure if that's live yet. But in that one, of course, I used the same product everywhere, whereas this will actually be individual products. Okay, time to bronze, and I'm going in with my Barry M. It's my favourite of my bronzers, the Afterglow Light. One, it's huge, it's going to last quite a while, and it's not too orange because where I'm cool, neutral to cool undertone, a lot of bronzers are just too warm for me. I really want to try Hoola and Hoola Light. I wish Benefit would do a mini version of Hoola Light to try, because I know they do a mini of Hoola, but I don't want to end up, because the problem in the UK is if you buy makeup here, once you've opened it, it's yours. You don't get to return it, even if it's the wrong shade in terms of like foundation or bronzers or anything. You just don't get to return it. It's very frustrating when you see people on when you watch Americans and they go, "Oh, I'm just going to take this back and exchange it for the right colour," and I'm just thinking, yeah, we couldn't do that over here. The only time you get to take it back is if there's a fault with the product. Just to give you a bit of an insight as to what it's like shopping in the UK. Right, I'm going to go with this. Now at the moment this is branded I Heart Makeup. They have now rebranded as I Heart Revolution. Makeup Revolution seems to be calling itself Revolution of Makeup. And the whole Tam Beauty website, which was the umbrella company that had Makeup Rev, I Heart Makeup, Freedom makeup brands underneath it, has rebranded as Revolution, and it looks like they're phasing Freedom out and bringing up Makeup Obsession in. Very confusing. But this is quite a shimmery blush. You can actually use this as eyeshadow with the 3 individual shades there, but I just like to run my brush across all 3 of those. It's nice because if you want a more natural look and you don't want to put highlighter on for work, because all my highlighters are blinding, let's face it, this is quite nice. It gives you a little bit of a glow as well. Not that it's going to stop me from putting a highlighter on over the top of it, of course, but it is an option if you can't wear highlighter. Just get yourself a shimmery blush, basically. This one is shade Bursting with Love. Not entirely sure why I said it like that. I'm obviously having a funny 5 minutes. It's that hour less in bed that's done it. Right, let's scoop in while I do my eyebrows so you can see what I'm doing. Spoolie, just to brush through, get rid of any excess powder, any foundation that might be clinging to the hair where we took the foundation across the top of it, and to try and encourage them to lay in the direction that we want them to. Doesn't always work. And I'm going in with my Essence Super Last pomade pencil. I like this because where it is a pomade pencil, you can actually sort of push it around a bit. So it means you can use less and get a more natural looking brow. Or where it is a pomade, you can obviously build it up and do your Insta brows. But you can see, using the brush at the other end now, I can just brush that through. And you see how it gently sort of smudges it a little bit. That's the look I like with my brows. If you look back on my Insta, you'll see about this time last year, because it's all coming up on my time hop. Oh, I tried the Insta brow look. I look like I've been attacked by a mad woman with a Sharpie. And the problem was the mad woman with the Sharpie effect was me. I actually left the house looking like it as well. What was I thinking? Sometimes these trends, you just have to let them pass you by. Because they might be trendy, but if they don't suit you, either adapt them. So like, if bright green, I mean this year the Pantone colour of the year is ultraviolet, but if you find that you don't really like purples on you, then adapt it, use a purpley pink, or use a different shade of purple, or just use it as an accent colour. Maybe just get purple mascara and just use that to, because you'd be surprised actually how different your lashes look when they're not black or brown. I'm going to go in with this little mini Ready Set Brow that I got from a magazine. I only bought a magazine because I wanted to try this. Benefit of renamed it now, I think it's Brow Setting Gel. You don't have to use the expensive stuff. I just wanted to see how it compared to what I usually use, which was clear mascara that you can use. If necessary, you can just put, spray a bit of hairspray onto your spoolie and just brush them through to keep them contained a little bit. I'm just going to zoom you back out again for a minute, just while I show you what I'm actually going to be using on my eyes. Now, this is one of the NYX Prismatic eyeshadows, and this is in shade Gilded. You can see it's a really beautiful yellowy gold. And what I'm going to do, using a synthetic brush, I'm just going to pick some colour up on the brush, and I'm going to initially, I know normally I go straight for my crease, but this is different because I'm only going to be using the one colour. So I'm going to pack that colour onto the lid. And then picking up, because obviously that was quite a compact brush, picking up a more fluffy one, we're going to pick up some of that shadow and just very gently do our usual twirly twirlies to bring it up towards the brow. And as you know, I normally stop about 5 mils, or about the width of a brush, below my brow, because I like to add a brow highlight. And now, using my colour switch, I'm going to clean the brush off, so you can see it's only got, that's actually staining from other colours I've used. You can see there's no yellow on it at all now. We're just going to gently, from the bottom, gently buff backwards and forwards in an upwards motion. Tiny, tiny little windscreen wipers, just to make a nice seamless blend there. See? Using just one colour on your eye can be extremely effective. It can give you quite a bold look. So if you're not too comfortable or confident with blending all the different colours together, and if you've got a lot of different colours, I mean, if you're following my tutorials and using the same colours, and they're going to work. If you're not sure yourself on which colours are going to look good together, this is a great, really quick, simple way of doing an eye look. Just using one colour and gently fading it as you go up the eye, so having a nice depth of colour on your lid, then blending it out as you work up. So it's, I mean, this is a really, you can see how pigmented these colours are. Obviously, I could do that less bright if I wanted to, but I want this bright look. Again, just with a clean brush, I'm not adding any more pigment. Just blend over them like this together just to make sure that everything's nicely blended. And then I'm going to use my flat brush and just carry that colour along the bottom lash line, wiggling it backwards and forwards. All the way across. I mean, obviously you can do this with any colour, but it does need to be quite a strong colour. You don't have to use yellow if you don't want to. I just find that yellow is really lovely against the purple, because obviously on the colour wheel they're complementary colours to each other. And then with a dry brush without any colour on it, I'm just going to smudge across that yellow, just to soften it a wee bit at the bottom there. So you can see it's actually a really quick way to do an eye look as well. Should I do highlighter next? Yeah, I think I'll do highlighter next before I do my wing. And I'm going into Jeffrey's Platinum Ice, which is his cool toned Skin Frost palette. All of these beautiful colours. So I've got a white, a blue, a purple, a green, a pink, and a yellow. I know I'm blinding you with the packaging, but it's the best way to show you the tones. Ice Cold and Lavender Snow you can actually get as full sized, because I have got both of those. The other four are brand new. So, because I've used yellow on my lid, I don't really want to go for yellow on the inner corner because it's not going to show up very well. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of, I think, the Lavender Snow, which is the purpley one. Now, Lavender Snow is one of his Skin Frosts that does tend to get a hard pan on it. So you do sometimes have to work to get the pigment up. It's just where they're so finely milled. You can do with hard pan either by using a firmer brush to pick the colour up with, or you can just put a bit of sticky tape on the top of the where it's gone hard pan, peel it up, and that will get rid of that top coating. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of Glacier over the top of it, which is the blue one. just to give it a bit of a pop. And I'm going to go into Ice Cold. To do the brow highlight. Ice Cold was my favourite of his until he brought out Uranus or Uranus with Manny, the second collab. And that's such a beautiful pale gold that works even on cool skin tones like mine. Right. Pop the highlighters to one side for a minute. And I'm going to see how this LA Girls Fine Line Long Lasting Fine Tip Liquid Eyeliner is going to behave. It has got quite a fine tip to it, that's good. Tempting to do a wing on camera, it's always fun. I might bring myself a little smaller mirror up so I can see what I'm doing actually. I don't talk much when I'm doing a wing, sorry. I know normally I go off camera to do a wing, but because we're trying this out today, I thought I'd see how it was and have a crack at doing it live for you. I wish this point was a little bit longer. That's what I like about the one from 17 with the flexible brush rather than like a pen. It's got a nice long, because you can see it, you end up with gaps if you've got skin that moves. Now my eye decides to water. Perfect timing, eyeball. Definitely allergy season starting. Deep joy. I like this, but it's quite dry to work with. And it does sort of drag across the eyelid quite a bit. As you can see. Much easier to do this eye because I can actually shut it. Because this is the eye that I'm blind in, so if I shut the other one, there's not a lot of makeup going to be happening. The problem with these sort of felt tippy ones is that you draw it on with the tip, but then you kind of have to use the side of it to colour it in, otherwise you end up smushing the tip and then you can't get a decently sharp wing after a little while. This is very dry to work with. Yeah, this is really dry. I'm not liking this at all. I just feel like I'm stabbing myself in the eyeball with it, you know? It's a lot more difficult to get nice, even coverage, but I think I've done it. Might have to use this a few more times before I give you my final decision on whether I like it or not, but at the moment I'm erring on the side of not. Right, time for some colourful mascara. This is the L'Oreal Mega Volume Miss Baby Roll in shade Lilac. I'll coat the top of my lashes first because I'm not going to put falsies on for a Sunday to go shopping round Ascot. And then I'll wiggle the brush into the bottom lashes, bottom of the lashes there, and gently blink through them. I'll wiggle it into the base. Blink the lashes through the brush. It's a good tip if you're putting mascara on somebody else as well, because you're then less likely to poke them in the eye, because you're not going up through their lashes, they're pulling their lashes through the brush. I do like playing with coloured mascaras. I guess you can take the child out of the 80s, but you can't take the 80s out of the child. First mascara I ever used was electric blue. And matching eyeliner, because Princess Di wore blue. So everybody wore blue. When I'm using a coloured mascara, I do tend to do 2 coats. Just to make sure the colour really pops. Okay, you can see that's quite an effective, I zoom back out again, quite an effective eye look. It hasn't actually taken us that long. Right, let's get my highlighters back, and we'll put a little bit of Canary Bling on the Cupid's bow. And then using a teardrop shaped brush, we'll add, let's do the nose first. Nose and chin. Canary Bling is definitely one of his more subtle colours. But as I've got a luminous blush on underneath, I mean, don't get me wrong, it still glows. But if you're looking for a bit of a more subtle effect, Canary Bling and Alien Ice, the green one, are like this. Pink Tulle is almost like a blush topper, but you can build it up to give you more oomph. Glacier is kind of halfway between this and his usual super dripping wet. I mean, you can see I'm actually putting more on because I like my highlight to dazzle the haters and make them back off. Right, time for lippies, and I am using Scorpio today from his standard collection, which is this lovely sort of grey purple. So let's bring you in a wee bit, because I know some people struggle with putting on lipsticks using a doe foot. So, see if I can angle you down. There we go. We do the inner part of our bottom lip first. And then we turn it sideways and use the outside edge of the doe foot to line the bottom lip. Okay. Now to do the top lip, to enhance your cupid's bow, or if you don't have one, to create a cupid's bow, we use the 45 rule. So you hold your doe foot with the chair bit towards you, and you turn it 45 degrees. You do a line on your cupid's bow, and keeping it exactly the same angle, you then do the outside of the lip. Bring it back to centre, turn it 45 the other way, and repeat. You now have an M. So we turn our doe foot upside down and we go from the corner to the line we've just made. And the same the other side. And then just colour the rest of the lip in. It's that simple. Alright, so let's zoom you back out again, because it is time for setting spray. I'm going to finish this one now. This is the I Heart Makeup Fixing Spray. Time to liberally douse our faces. You can stop if you want. But I'm a little bit extra because I like my makeup to, say it with me, stay put. Alright, Don't go anywhere, I am going to do something with this hair and I will be right back. Hey, I'm back. Right, there we go then. That is our striking look using only one shadow. So I hope you liked that. If you did, perhaps you'd like to click that like button, hit subscribe. If you do subscribe, click that notification bell and then you'll be told every time I upload a new video. All that's left for me to say is take care and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.